Good morning from the Monsanto Water Utilization Learning Center. My name is Brian Olson, manager of the site, and I'm here with Mark Ryman, our agronomist. And so we're out here looking at corn at the V9 stage. We've received a lot of moisture here at the center in the last few days, and so we're actually talking about different ways we get nitrogen out on corn. And so Mark, what would be some of those options?
Some of the options, really at this stage, you're not very limited. You can get over it with most tractors in height, so you kind of have all the options open. At this growth stage, one of the common ones would be coultering the nitrogen on. So as you bring those coulters in, you're applying that nitrogen fairly deep. You're preventing any volatilization. There is a little bit of a trade-off where you could be slicing some roots and things like that. You're not necessarily putting it right up next to the row, but it is a good way, especially at this height where your toolbar is not going to be limited behind your tractor. Another method that we use would be the drop tubes that put the nitrogen right by the row. They do design those for sprayers so that you can go to a pretty large height with the corn, much higher than we're at here with V9, depending on your type of sprayer. We just used that here on this corn last week. Then we got the moisture, so I think we're in pretty good shape in terms of nitrogen incorporation. Or if you can irrigate, you can really incorporate that nitrogen into the soil pretty fast. Another option that I've seen a lot of guys go with, really because you can get over pretty tall corn and it's very quick, would be applying a dry urea over the top of the corn plant with a spreader or spinner type machine. This works very well as far as speed, efficiency, and cost, but you do have to be prepared as a producer to accept some leaf burn. As that urea gets in the whirl, you can see some issues.
Right, so that urea would be dropping down into that whirl, and then as those leaves out of that whirl emerge, you'd have that burning effect here. So we've got the corn here at the V9 stage, and so then if we look right across the road here, we've got corn here at V11, a little bit taller, about foot and a half taller. And so if we're dealing with corn at this stage, what are we looking at?
Well, now a lot of your tractor methods go out the window. So there are some options you'll see on high sprayers where you can use those drop tubes and put it by the row. I have seen a few really high coulter machines. You could maybe use some dry spread urea, but at this point you're going to be burning some of those upper leaves that might be contributing more to yield. So you're really looking, as far as the most common method would be fertigation. So if you have a field that's center pivot irrigated or irrigated with drip irrigation, it's not as common, but that could be, you can put that through your irrigation system. That does require some special equipment, the pumps. You've got to get that fertilizer out there to the pivot point. You got to have your permits and everything and your inspections in place before you do that. But if you've gotten behind because of the rain, or something just causing you not to get that side dress application on like a V7 to V8 like you're used to, and you don't have a tall machine, fertigation certainly provides a great option for you.
And so if we do have to go in with fertigation, what would be kind of some general recommendations on how much nitrogen can be put out in order that we don't cause damage? Because obviously we're putting out a salt element over top of that corn plant, and so what would be kind of some general recommendations?
The general recommendations you see are like that 15 to 20 pounds of nitrogen per acre, mixed in as UAN. So you're looking at 3 to 4 gallons per acre in a lot of water. You're not going to see a leaf burn or issues like that. You are going to typically make multiple applications though to get everything on that you want to during that growing season. The other thing that you'll, in a situation like this where we've had a lot of rain, there's not a need to irrigate maybe other than fertigation. So typically you'll be looking at a very fast pass, maybe 1500 to 2000 of water just to get that nitrogen on there and get it incorporated. You don't want to spend a lot on irrigation water because obviously the crop has a lot of water to work with right now.
So yeah, we've received quite a bit of moisture here at the site, and so just some things that farmers may be getting a little behind on getting nitrogen out there, and so the corn is entering into that stage where it's really going to be growing fast, and things can quickly get beyond where You might have been thinking you were going to get out and put some drop tube nitrogen out, and now you've got to look at putting out nitrogen with some fertigation, because again, this is great weather for the corn, and it's growing fast, and so just be mindful that there are some options out there. With that, we thank you for your time. You got any last comments, Mark?
No, just, yeah, the corn is really rapidly growing. Last week you could see all the pivot tires. This week they're starting to disappear. So it's that time of year.
All right. Well, with that, we thank you for your time. We'll talk to you in the future about other agronomic topics.
This video was produced by the Monsanto Water Utilization Learning Center.